If you had the opportunity to retire in one of the most peaceful, safe, and isolated places in Europe, would you be willing to leave the city you currently live in and move there? If you're still undecided, be sure to watch this video until the end and leave your answer in the comments after the video is over. The Faroe Islands are located between Iceland and Norway and consist of 18 volcanic islands rising from the cold waters of the North Atlantic. On a map of Europe, this archipelago appears to be little more than tiny dots scattered across the vast ocean. Its total land area is small and the population is just over 50,000 people. The climate in the Faroe Islands is also harsh in its own unique way. Local residents often joke that if you do not like the current weather, just wait 5 more minutes. That saying is not entirely a joke. In the Faroe Islands, a day can begin with bright sunshine, then quickly shift to thick fog, followed by heavy rain, and only minutes later the sky becomes clear again, as if nothing had happened. This constant change is caused by the island's unique location in the North Atlantic, where warm and cold air masses continuously collide. The weather is so unpredictable that people rarely pay attention to forecasts too far in advance. They are accustomed to carrying windproof and waterproof clothing regardless of the season. For Faroe's people, being prepared for every type of weather in a single day is almost a way of life. Another remarkable feature is that despite being located in the middle of the ocean and having extremely rugged terrain, the Faroe Islands' transportation system is far more modern than many people imagine. Over the past several decades, the local government has built numerous tunnels through mountains and even beneath the seabed to connect the islands. Today, residents can drive from one island to another through tunnels located dozens of meters below sea level. Some of these tunnels are even decorated with artistic lighting systems, making them feel more like stepping into a futuristic world than traveling through a transportation route. But all of that is only the beginning. The most fascinating story of the Faroe Islands lies in the Viking descendant communities that still exist in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean today. More than 1,000 years ago, Vikings from what is now Norway sailed across the sea to the Faroe Islands. They did not find great cities, fertile farmland, or abundant natural resources. What they saw were towering cliffs, mist-covered mountains, and cold seas stretching all the way to the horizon. Yet they decided to stay. Over the centuries, those first settlers gradually formed a distinct community of their own. The isolation of the islands helped them preserve many elements of ancient Nordic culture that most of Europe lost long ago. Today, the Faroes people still speak their own language. The Faroes language is directly descended from Old Norse, the language spoken by the Vikings more than 1,000 years ago. What is remarkable is that despite having a population of only a little over 50,000 people across the entire archipelago, the Faroese have managed to preserve their unique cultural identity. They take pride in their Viking heritage, their language, and the traditions passed down from one generation to the next. The Faroes are also very proud of their national festival known as Olavsukka. Every year at the end of July, people from all across the islands gather in the capital, Tórshavn, to take part in traditional celebrations. Traditional national costumes fill the streets, boat races take place on the sea, and ancient chain dances continue late into the night. For many residents, this is not merely a festival, but an opportunity to affirm Faroe's identity in the modern world. If you walk through the towns and villages of the Faroe Islands today, it is difficult to find the sense of urgency that is common in Europe's major cities. Life moves at a slower pace. People know one another, children can walk to school on their own, and many families still maintain strong ties to their local communities. But what most people remember about the Faroe Islands is not the traditional festivals, the peaceful villages, or the breathtaking landscapes. What has made these islands famous across social media around the world is a controversial tradition that has existed for more than 1,000 years. Have you ever heard of grindadrap? If you have, leave a 1 in the comments to confirm it. To the rest of the world, the sight of bays stained red by whales is shocking, but for many Faroes people, it is a part of their history, deeply connected to the survival of their ancestors. To understand why this tradition still exists today, we need to go back to the time when the first Vikings arrived in the Faroe Islands. Life in the North Atlantic was extremely harsh back then. Winters were long, arable land was scarce, the climate was cold, and securing enough food was a constant challenge. Under those conditions, pods of pilot whales that appeared close to shore became a valuable source of meat and blubber, helping coastal communities survive through long periods of hardship. Over time, this practice developed into grindadrap, a community tradition passed down through many generations. What is important to note is that this is not a commercial hunt. The Faroes do not hunt whales to sell them on the international market. For them, it is a source of food that is shared within the local community according to rules that have existed for a very long time. Today, when a pod of pilot whales is spotted near the coast, the news usually spreads quickly throughout the community. Small boats immediately leave the harbor. People work together to guide the whales into shallow bays where the hunt takes place. Afterward, the meat and blubber are distributed among local families through a traditional system rather than being sold as a commercial product. This tradition has become the center of one of the most controversial debates in Europe. While many animal rights organizations view grindadrap as an outdated practice that should be ended, many Faroes people argue that it is an inseparable part of their history, culture, and identity. In your opinion, should this tradition be abolished or continue to be preserved? Share your thoughts in the comments below this video. If you only look at photos online, many people would think the Faroe Islands are a paradise in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Peaceful little villages, rolling green pastures, and a lifestyle that seems free from pressure. But the reality of life for the Faroes is far more complex. First of all, this is one of the most expensive places to live in Europe. Most food, construction materials, vehicles, and consumer goods have to be imported to the islands. As a result, prices are often significantly higher than in many other countries. A meal at a restaurant, a car, or even home repairs can cost far more than people might expect when looking at the peaceful image of the islands. The isolation also creates its own challenges. With a population of just over 50,000 people, job opportunities are not as diverse as those found in major European cities. Many young people move to Denmark or other Nordic countries to attend university. Some return after graduation, but many choose to stay abroad in search of greater opportunities. The Faroe Islands are in many ways built around the sea. The fishing industry is the backbone of the entire economy. Farmed salmon and seafood products account for the majority of the island's exports. For many years, Faroe's salmon has been considered among the highest quality salmon in the world and is exported to Europe, North America, and Asia. This has helped the Faroe Islands achieve a very high income per capita, despite their small population. However, heavy dependence on the fishing industry also comes with risks. When fish prices fall or export markets face difficulties, the entire economy feels the impact. In modern history, the Faroe Islands have experienced periods of serious economic hardship when the fishing industry declined, forcing many residents to leave the islands in search of work elsewhere. Another issue that is discussed less often is how the weather and isolation can affect people's mental well-being. Long winters, limited sunlight, and frequent storms can sometimes make life feel repetitive. For some people, especially younger generations, living on a small archipelago in the middle of the ocean can create a sense of limited space and fewer opportunities for personal growth.